thefts, robbery, and extortions. Who are guilty of robbery? According to Article 293 of the Revised Penal Code, any person who, with intent to gain, shall take any personal property belonging to another by means of violence or intimidation of any person or using force upon anything shall be guilty of robbery. So what are the penalties? According to Article 295 of the Revised Penal Code, any person guilty of robbery with the use of violence against or intimidation of any person shall suffer the penalty of reclusion perpetua to death if a crime of homicide shall have been committed, the penalty of reclusion temporal in its medium period to reclusion perpetua when a robbery shall have been accompanied by rape or intentional mutilation, or if serious physical injuries have been inflicted, provided, however, that when the robbery accompanied with rape committed with the use of a deadly weapon or by two or more persons, the penalty shall be reclusion perpetua to death as amended by Presidential Decree number 767. The penalty of reclusion temporal if physical injuries have been inflicted, the penalty of prisión mayor in its maximum period to reclusion temporal in its medium period if light physical injuries have been inflicted, the penalty of prisión correccional in its maximum period to prisión mayor in its medium period for all other cases as amended by the Republic Act number 18. So this is the corresponding equivalent of those penalties. And that's all for robbery and extortion.
The violation of the Republic Act number 8293, otherwise known as the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. So this act shall protect and secure the exclusive rights of scientists, inventors, artists, and other gifted citizens of their intellectual property and creations. Also to organize administrative procedures of registering patents, trademarks, and copyrights. And also to enhance the enforcement of the intellectual property rights in the Philippines. So it consists of trademarks, patents, copyright, industrial design, layout design, and trade secrets. So one of the most common violation is the infringement, such as the patent infringement, copyright infringement, and the trademark infringement. So for the penalties, it depends on the type of violations on hand, but commonly it includes monetary damages, imprisonment, seizure or confiscation of the stolen property, documents or materials, loss or suspension of the business operating license, and the civil charges filed by the victim of the crime. That's all.
Frauds and illegal exactions and transactions. Article 213. Frauds against the public treasury and similar offenses, committed by an officer whose duty is to collect taxes or impose other fees. Ways of committing: demanding an amount different from what the law authorizes, voluntary failure to issue receipt, and collection of payment different from that prescribed by law. Article 214 or other frauds. Elements: offender is a public officer who takes advantage of his position. He commits any of the frauds in Articles 315 to 318. Penalty: temporary special disqualification to perpetual special disqualification. Article 215 or prohibited transactions. Elements: offender is an appointed public officer. During his term, becomes interested in transaction or exchange or speculation and within the territory of his jurisdiction. Penalty is prisión correccional in its minimum period or a fine of 200 to 1,000 pesos or both. And lastly, Article 216, the possession of prohibited interest by a public officer. Persons liable: public officer interested in any contract in which it is his duty to intervene, experts, arbitrators, and private accountants who took part in transactions connected with the estate or property which they acted, and lastly, guardians and executors with respect to property of wards or the estate. Penalty is arresto mayor in medium to prisión correccional in medium period or a fine of 200 to 1,000 pesos or both.
Hello, for the last question, with the advancement of accounting technology, how do I keep up and stay relevant? Technological advancements brought changes especially to accounting technology, which makes the accountant's job a little easier. That's why we as students and aspiring accountants must work extra hard to abide by new technology updates. The following are some ways how we keep up and stay relevant. Provide education. We have computer subjects and laboratory exercises that focuses on using accounting software or programs. This is conducted so that every student feels confident with the technology shift. This way, students can advance as a team and no one is left behind. Be a step ahead of the game. Rather than wait until students graduate or take the board or find a job, it is important to monitor upcoming advancements and adapt it so we can embrace the change. And lastly, consult with IT experts. IT department creates our integrated accounting program to help us familiarize how accounting technology works. These professionals are specially skilled to know what's changing, what's new, and how it can benefit the accountants. Keeping up with technology changes are never easy, but is crucial to maintaining an expert accounting practice. Therefore, we don't resist change, but we embrace it. That's all. Thank you and keep safe.